Raquel Welch dazzled the world for decades, from her breakout in a fur bikini in 1 Million Years B.C. to becoming a pop culture legend. Yet behind the glamour and fame, Raquel was also a mom, having 2 children in her early 20s, even before her career took off. This video will explore what became of Raquel Welch's 2 children, how her whirlwind career affected them, the paths they chose in life, the challenges they faced growing up in a superstar's shadow, and ultimately where they are now. 2. Damon Welch. Damon Welch, Raquel's eldest, was born on November 6, 1959. Imagine being a toddler and your mom is suddenly the most famous pinup in the world. That was Damon's early life. He was literally on Raquel's hip as she navigated stardom. In fact, one of Damon's first big public appearances was at the 46th Academy Awards in April 1974, when Raquel was a presenter and brought 14-year-old Damon as her dashing young date. There he was, in a velvet tuxedo, accompanying his mom on Hollywood's biggest red carpet. He also tagged along with Raquel to other events, the 39th Annual Emmy Awards in 1987, movie premieres like Crocodile Dundee 2 in 1988, and even stood proudly beside her when she received her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1996. By all accounts, Damon was a supportive son and comfortable being seen with his famous mom. Growing up amid such glamour, one might think Damon would dive headlong into show business. He did give it a shot. Briefly, according to his IMDb page, young Damon had a tiny acting role as a toddler at age 2 in a film called The Beloved, essentially playing a little boy. Later, he worked behind the scenes. He was a production assistant on a 1979 comedy, The Day the Earth Got Stoned, and a production associate on his mom's popular 1984 workout video. Raquel, total beauty and fitness. He even appeared as himself in a couple of documentaries or TV specials about Raquel. So, yes, Damon dipped his toes into the entertainment industry waters, but he never became a public figure or pursued a long-term acting career. In Damon's own way, he decided not to live in the spotlight. Instead, Damon Welch pivoted to a more ordinary professional life, far away from Hollywood's glare. He went off to college and graduated from Boston University's College of Communication. With that education, he built a career in the tech field as a computer consultant, focusing on information systems and network administration. In the words of Raquel herself, "My son Damon became a computer consultant engineer," a statement of pride that he carved out his own identity in a completely different arena. Damon's journey from red carpets to writing code is quite the contrast, but it shows he was determined to step out of his mother's shadow and do his own thing. On the personal front, Damon's life also took turns that grabbed media attention, especially one event in 1991. That year, Damon married Rebecca Truman, the daughter of famous English cricket player Fred Truman. The wedding was held in England, and Raquel of course attended, wearing an eye-catching low-cut black dress. And, oh boy, did that dress cause a stir. The press went wild with stories that Raquel's revealing outfit stole the spotlight and even upset the bride and groom. Headlines screamed about a feud over Raquel's cleavage at her son's wedding, making it seem like a Hollywood drama had upstaged the ceremony. Talk about gossip overload. However, the reality was far more innocent. Years later, Rebecca, Damon's wife at the time, set the record straight and said the whole thing was blown out of proportion. She explained that Raquel had actually worn an elegant embroidered jacket over the dress during the church service, trying to be respectful of English tradition. Only at the reception did Raquel remove the jacket, briefly showcasing her famous figure, and of course the tabloids went nuts. But Rebecca insisted she thought her mother-in-law looked very stylish and beautiful on the day, and nobody in the family was truly upset. So, the wedding cleavage controversy was mostly media hype. Unfortunately, the marriage itself didn't last long. Damon and Rebecca split up after about 2 years of marriage, making that chapter a short-lived one. After the divorce, Damon retreated even further from public view. In recent decades, Damon Welch has led an extremely private life. He isn't active on social media at all. No Twitter, no Instagram, nothing public. Now in his mid-60s, Damon keeps a low profile, reportedly working in tech and wellness business ventures and staying out of Hollywood headlines. He also never remarried and has no children that we know of. 1. Tani Welch. If Damon stepped away from showbiz, Tani Welch did almost the opposite, at least for a while. Raquel's daughter, Latan Renee, Tani Welch, was born December 26, 1961. From the start, Tani had her mother's stunning looks and a curiosity about the entertainment world. She spent much of her youth in Europe, growing up between Spain, England, and Italy during the years Raquel was filming abroad. Maybe that worldly upbringing influenced her, because Tani developed an independent streak early on. She dropped out of school at 16 and decided to pursue acting, initially in Italy. In 1984, at just 22, she landed a starring role in an Italian romantic comedy titled Amarsi un po', which means love a little. The very next year, 1985, Tani scored what would become her most famous role. She was cast in Ron Howard's science fiction hit, Cocoon. In Cocoon, a film about a group of seniors rejuvenated by aliens, Tani played one of the beautiful alien beings alongside veteran actors and even shared the screen with Steve Guttenberg. Cocoon was a box office success, and Tani's ethereal performance put her on the map. She reprised her role in the sequel Cocoon, The Return, in 1988. For a brief moment, it looked like Tani might follow Raquel's path to Hollywood stardom. She continued to work through the late 1980s and 1990s, though her projects were a mix of American and European productions. Tani appeared in an Italian miniseries, Disperatamente Giulia, in 1989, and some German films. Back in the U.S., she took roles in indie movies. For example, she portrayed Warhol superstar Viva in the 1996 film I Shot Andy Warhol, and she was in a quirky 1987 fantasy film, Sleeping Beauty, a Golan Globus production, where she played a modern-day princess, NikkiSwift.com. She even dabbled in video games, providing her likeness and voice for a 1996 interactive movie game called Ripper. By 1999, Tani had accumulated about 21 acting credits. Not A-list blockbuster roles, but a respectable career in the industry nonetheless. Interestingly, 1999 was her busiest year with 3 different projects, but it also turned out to be her swan song in acting for a long time. Beyond acting, Tani Welch also made waves as a model. She graced the pages of major fashion magazines around the world. She appeared in American Vogue, Italian Vogue, and British GQ, among others. And just like her mom, who once famously posed for Playboy in 1979, Tani too had her Playboy moment. In November 1995, Tani Welch posed on the cover of Playboy and had an 8-page pictorial spread inside. After the 1990s, Tani largely disappeared from the public eye. For many years, fans would rarely catch a glimpse of her. She kept her life private, and little is publicly known about how she spent her post-acting days. In 2016, however, Tani made a surprising, if brief, return to the screen. She appeared as herself in a tongue-in-cheek sci-fi channel movie called Tu Lava Tu Lantula. In her personal life, Tani Welch has kept things even more low-key. While her mom married 4 times, Tani never married at all. She did have a couple of notable relationships over the years. In the early 1990s, Tani was romantically involved with actor Jared Harris, son of the late Richard Harris, and now known for shows like Mad Men and Chernobyl. Some sources even say Tani and Jared were married for a time in the 90s, but Tani herself maintained that she never officially tied the knot. It appears they had a long-term relationship, around 5 years, that ended in 1996. Later on, Tani was linked to actor Luca Palanca in the late 90s. In a rather down-to-earth twist, Tani reportedly met Luca while working at his family's restaurant, Joe and Joe's Pizzeria. Yes, you read that right. At one point, the former Hollywood actress was working in a pizza joint, perhaps enjoying a more normal life away from Hollywood. Now in her early 60s, Tani is believed to be living a quiet, private life, possibly in California. She doesn't court publicity and appears to value her anonymity. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the lives behind the legend, don't forget to subscribe for more true stories and updates on your favorite icons. Thanks for watching.